We have already started episode 3 with a laugh. We have recorded some stuff beforehand, but now you're going to get the best parts of today. And we are here with the co-hosts. And my first co-host, because it's half and half, is Camilla Odia.
And my other half co-host is Marcus Schilling.
Yes, I'm drinking some wonderful coffee that we made at Camilla's coffee machine. You do not drink coffee right now.
I don't, actually. I drink tea.
You drink tea. Is it caffeinated tea or not?
It's not. It's no caffeine for me.
So is it creativity?
It is creativity, though. It's the juice.
That wasn't my joke for this episode. That one you get for free. But I find coffee is a very important part for my creativity. I've not tried the past 20 odd years having like a long time without coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I never think if I'm going to do any writing or trying to come up with words or ideas, I'm usually drinking a lot of coffee beforehand.
Is that so? Well, I used to drink coffee. Actually, I used to not drink coffee for the longest time. And my mother always told me that once you grow up, you're going to like coffee. And the truth is, I never liked coffee, and I still don't like coffee. So I used a lot of sugar and a lot of milk to even be able to drink it. And then my body just said, well, this is not for you. So I stopped.
But in Sweden, at least when I came here to live, which was 20 years ago now, I know it's strange to believe I'm only 23 myself now. I'm just turned 40. But I've been here half my life. And when I came here, I was the English guy, and they're like, oh, you're drinking tea all the time. And it was a thing people talked about anytime there's a break. Oh, the English guy is drinking tea. So I had to learn to drink coffee to fit in with the group. And I started with coffee with sugar and milk, as you drink it with now. But I slowly went away from all those things, and now I just drink black coffee.
Yeah, I've heard that is possible. I just never really understood how to do that. It tastes bitter.
You can retrain yourself to drink
also,
black coffee.
Have you heard this saying? Like, you are what you eat? I don't want to be bitter, so I don't want to drink. Make sense?
I'm wondering how much less bitter I'd be if I stopped drinking coffee.
Please try.
Maybe so. I actually had a time today where I had a lot of creativity, a creative moment, and I was writing a lot. There was coffee involved. In the beginning of the process, I was very tired this morning. I did not want to get up and go to work, but I found some time, and I started writing, and I've got a new story in the works. We'll see if it actually becomes anything this time. But we wanted to talk today about how you find creativity, and sometimes it might hit you at inappropriate moments when you do not have the time to do anything. You might get a million ideas at once. And then the other side of it, when you have no creativity, but you have the time, you're like, oh, now I've got like 2 or 3 days off, and then not an idea in the world comes to it.
Yeah, and there's a couple of different stories about this, because I listen to a lot of writers, because writing is something that you need to make time for. Most of creativity is something you need to make time for, but to write, you need space in your calendar or what your to-dos and stuff like that. And watching all these writers telling almost the same thing, they had one routine, and the routine was, I'm gonna sit at my desk with my writer or computer or whatever you use, pen or paper, and just sit there and write. And if nothing comes, then nothing comes. If it comes just a few words, then it's a few words. But what they found was having the routine actually set up the way they could start writing. So the body, the creativity, everything got used to being there at that moment doing that thing.
That's quite unusual if you think of it as a concept. I mean, an outside view, think creativity is something that has to be spontaneous. Creating a routine would actually be something that would kill creativity. But what you're saying is, because you've created a system or a structure, then it's easier maybe for the mind to relax and get into that space to make things.
Yes, and what we find is that I've mentioned this before. I think I've seen this a million times also in organizations. If you look at a role, something you work with, and they say, well, there are no rules, there are no boundaries. You can just do whatever that pleases you. Just like do your job as well as you can. It's harder to know what to actually do. And it's the same with creativity. If you have like impossible amounts of possibilities, like it's unlimited, you're not gonna get a single idea. But if you have a frame, you have something inside of something, then you can work with it. Like you're gonna write a story, okay, and then a friend says, why don't you write a sci-fi? Okay, I have something. And then you can start doing that. But if you just write a story, it's going to be harder to just get going.
Like you can pick anything in the world. It's like you're not going to end up picking anything.
Yeah. And sometimes, like we talked about, like the first episode, what we can see also is we have this spur of moments, like pauses in our days where creativity comes to us and we get an idea. And then we can build on our routine. If we have a routine, like I always sit at my computer at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's when I don't have any other to-dos. I have some space. Like if you do that, you can then take that inspiration, look at it, and see what comes up. Like there could be the build-up for what you do that day.
And it could be good as well in like the modern world that we live in. Everybody has responsibilities, places to be, things to take care of. So to actually say, okay, this even a half an hour every day is when I do this thing for me to create my project for that one, and then you've got the rest of the day to do other things. Of course you're going to have ideas popping in and out then. Hopefully you can write something down on your phone, whichever, and then come back to it, and then you've got fresh ideas and a whole part of time just for you to be creative. Do the thing that you want to do. That's really good.
It's really nice. And also, like I said, there's a lot of different views on this, because some people just live their creativity. They don't have other jobs, they don't have other things to do, and then it might be easier to just when the feeling comes, just go and do it. But for us that don't have that luxury, it's good to have a routine, to know that I have this space. Now I can just pour out if I need to or can.
No, it's important as well to have that one, because say you don't have an outlet for creativity, it could really lead to frustration, where you've got ideas and you want to have time for doing things and you haven't set any time. You're like, I'll do this later. It's going to be a thing I'll do fix later, and then that later never comes.
No.
It never will be.
Yeah. And also what we talked about was not knowing, like you have different days where you find you have energy, or maybe you don't have energy, and you have days where you might feel off in your body, in your emotions, whatever, and then you have days where you feel like on top of the world, and how that also can contribute or take away from your creativity and your juice.
We are Creative Juices. My name is Marcus Schilling.
And my name is Camilla Udén.
And we are here to bring you the juicy links.
The juicy links for our website is www.creativejuices.se.
We even have a YouTube channel, which you'll find creativejuices.se.
And then we have Spotify, also creativejuices.se.
I'm a little bit skeptical to Spotify, but I still have Instagram. You'll find us there at creativejuices.se. Also, if you have a guest or a suggestion or anybody that you want to have on the show to talk about creativity, we have an email. And where can they reach us at that one?
It's info@creativejuices.se.
And that...
Big surprise.
And those were your juicy links. No, it's very good. I've thought like a lot of this week about my processes and how to do things and get into the zone, or as you say, like create a structure, maybe with a time, maybe with other things.
Mm.
And I found a way or a new method which I'm going to try and see, because I'm very audio based, and some people like to go to museums or to art galleries and things and get inspired by that. I personally I'm inspired by like watching people, seeing people out in public and doing things and making up stories in my head of what they're doing and the places they're off to. But then when it's actually time to sit down and write something, then I think, okay, I have all these ideas, but I can't put them clearly in my mind in any which way. It's all just muddled up. But I have created or started to create a playlist of songs which I know help me either like I think it's like calming down in my brain. I think it's something like that, like finding a level whereby I could shut the rest of the world out and just kind of focus on these things.
Mm.
And before I've tried to do this in a way of, oh, these are the songs I like at the moment, and I put them all together. And I find if I'm being honest with myself, it doesn't work as well. Then I get more distracted or go down a rabbit hole and start doing something else.
Yeah.
But I've got these about 10 to 15 songs now, which I know I've associated them with certain times in my life where I've listened to them and they put me in a very creative space. Like Pink Floyd is one of those artists, one of those bands, which definitely puts me in that mindset. So if I take a few of those songs and have them playing in the background, even on repeat, it could be the same songs over and over, then I can get into a flow and I can write that way. So I'm going to try and do that with your advice of finding a specific time of day and a certain thing there, and then a certain playlist, and seeing what comes out.
What comes out?
I might just end up writing the same thing over and over again.
Well, actually, that is also a thing. So journaling, generally, it means you talk about your day for yourself in either a video or you can write. I like writing, so I write. So there's a part of journaling where you can just set your pen on a piece of paper and you just write without thinking about commas or punctuations or whatever, or like big letters, small letters, you don't care. You just write whatever comes up. And what happens then is you let go of a lot of things just hold up in your head. Like I know one day I felt really off and I was having a hard time, and all I ever put down, the only word on the entire paper was help, like forever and ever. And so sometimes it's just getting the thoughts down on paper, unsorted, like not controlled, no rules, just get it out of your system.
Also a method that some famous writers have taken. I don't know, have you heard of Jack Kerouac, the writer? So he's a writer in the beat poetry era, so when like jazz music and things were coming out in America. The kind of counterculture before the whole like 50s rock and roll. So in the 1920s and 30s, you had, counter revolutionary people, and he was one of them, hanging with all these poets and people. So he wrote his book, his novel On the Road, which is like a bestseller now. You can pick it up anywhere in many different languages. But he wrote the initial like scripts writing of that on one specially made piece of paper, which was incredibly long, and he wrote it all in like I think a 3-day period. He was obviously probably on a lot of different substances to keep him awake the whole time, but that's what he claimed. I think the original document is in a museum somewhere.
Wow.
It was like he wrote the entire thing just on this, because as you said, he has this idea for the story of this road trip in his head, and he has to get it all out now, and whichever form it takes, that's going to be the story, because that's like the purest form of him telling it.
This is so interesting also, because I've talked to different people, but I also heard it in different interviews that some writers, when they get like these, also with the text and songs, but they get these downloads. They call it downloads because it's just a string of words coming from nowhere in their mind, but it's just coming out of them. And that's what happens to them. Like they just sit and they just write. So, and then when you ask them, like, where did this come from? How did you get these ideas? Like, it's not my idea. Yeah, it just came from somewhere, but it's not mine per se. It's just, it came out of me. Like, something inspired me. Yeah.
Exactly. Like, it came to you somehow or some way.
Yeah.
A lot of people have other definitions of what
Yeah.
it can be. But
it's really cool. Like, we can tune into that, and the more we can tune into that frequency, the more we can write and write things that also affect people, because he wrote something that really affected people, and that's why he became famous. So,
yeah, now it spoke to a generation.
Yeah, exactly.
Another thing, people try and copy these kind of things. It does inspire people, but you can't tap into exactly the same thing. It's the same with music, and it's the same with art as well. You've got a lot of people trying to copy the paintings or painting styles of certain, if you say like a Picasso, it's in the Picasso style.
Yeah.
But it's you can't copy that or what the feeling was that came to them at that time, the place that they were in at that time to make that.
That's one of the things, but it's also like you miss out on the specific essence that is you when you copy someone else. Like, we've seen this in Idol or Singing with the Stars or whatever. Like, they try to copy a certain style, or someone's singing someone else's song, but exactly how they sing it, instead of making it their own. And when they make it their own, it's like, wow, it's a completely different song, and it gives you a different feeling. And it's the same when you like copy someone's type of text or type of picture. Like, if you do it for yourself, from yourself, it's gonna get another feeling to it, another
a whole different a different level, which will speak to maybe different people, a different audience. I like we could transition to music as an idea of that, as you're saying, with the idol or pop idol Singing with the Stars. But a successful one I found was the song Hurts, which Johnny Cash covered. Have you heard the...
No, I don't think I have. I've heard of the original version, yes.
Yeah, so the original was at the end of the record, The Downward Spiral by 9 Inch Nails. And it was like hidden at the end. If you've listened to the whole album through, there's like 2 or 3 minutes of dead air, and then that song starts up. And if you listen to the whole album, it speaks to a lot of people. And I like that one a lot in that version. But Johnny Cash did a cover of that one, and with the music video and everything behind it, that version became the definitive version of that song. Which was a cover version, which wasn't anything he wrote, and he performed the song and made it personal for himself. But the lyrics, which were written by Trent Reznor of the 9 Inch Nails, were incredibly personal to him. Like, even more so, a lot of songs by that time, even by like metal people, industrial or rock or whichever, they can be very on the surface kind of lyrics. These lyrics were really, really deep. And to take them and someone else does a cover of it and make it incredibly deep in another way, is kind of unheard of. I haven't seen like someone else do a cover of someone else's very personal song and find a completely new dimension to it. But I've got even a third one on that, because since YouTube was invented 20 odd years ago, you can go around and find live versions of certain songs. And my favorite version of the song Hurt is a live version, I think from 96, when it is 9 Inch Nails performing live, and David Bowie is like the guest singer on it. And that version's, you have to kind of see the video with it, because you've got Trent Reznor there singing, and then on stage with someone you can see as like one of his personal heroes, which he's now sharing the stage with, singing the song.
Wow.
So you get the aspect of, you can hear it, you can hear the song, but you can watch it and you can see the
interaction.
Yeah. And you can see like he is singing this incredibly personal thing, but he's also incredibly joyful inside, because he's like, okay, this guy I idolized as a teen growing up is singing my song now beside me. And that's why I like that version the best. So it's probably the version the least amount of people have heard. So if you're on YouTube right now, go and check it out. 9 Inch Nails, David Bowie.
Wow. Yeah.
Is it time for me to do my joke?
Yes, it is time.
But it's okay. We can do a
Prepare
clap,
to laugh.
and then we can cut it. Okay. Okay. So there was this sea captain out in the ocean. He was doing very, very good at his job. He was very religious, and every time he was like on land, he would go to church every Sunday and pray to God and be saying, "Protect me on my voyage. Everything will be fine." And he had faith in his God, and it was all good. And he'd been on many of these voyages, got loads of fish. Everything was brilliant. One day he was in an incredible storm out on the coast. And he went further and further out to sea, and the storm was so bad that the boat started to sink.
Oh.
And he was like, "It's okay, I've got faith, my God will come and he will, it's going to be okay." And the boat's going down, and he was like, "I'm the captain, okay, if some of you want to leave on this boat that's coming," so another boat came along to save some people. I'm like, "Okay, you go, but I'm going to stay on this boat, God is going to save me through." First boat goes off. Another boat comes along to get the rest of the people, the skeleton crew, the last people they need to have on it. It's like, "Okay, Captain, please come along now." It's like, "No, I've got faith. God is going to save me. I'm going to stay on this boat." The second boat sails on its way. Eventually, this big fishing boat sinks to the bottom of the ocean. The captain is drowned.
Mm.
And he goes up to the pearly gates, who wise St. Peter. He goes and sees and talks to God. And he says, "God, what's happened? I've had faith to you. I pray to you every Sunday, every time, and you said you protect me. We've talked about this. We had a deal." He's like, "God, why have you forsaken me?" It's like, and God said, "What do you mean forsaken you? I sent you 2 boats."
Yeah.
That's my joke. Nothing else does it with creativity, but maybe it's about misunderstanding the signals that are sent to you. There you go.
Listening, right?
I mean, we've got it back to what we were talking about.
Right.
So when the things are sent to you,
Listen.
in whichever form they are sent to you, you shouldn't ignore them.
Exactly.
Because it could be your savior.
So this is actually something, doesn't have to do with creativity, but I think it's this kind of relates to what you're saying. A lot of people who've been in like accidents or things have happened that are not good, they usually get signs beforehand that they don't listen to, right? Like, well, I got on a train really late, or the bus was late before, and I wasn't supposed to get to the plane. They might have been in a plane crash, but they were not supposed to get on the plane because they nearly didn't make it, but they didn't listen. They kept on going.
I think when you're saying like the most extreme situations, where it's plane crashes and stuff, those are the bigger things, but maybe the smaller things are the things we should look for. Maybe it's not even now. Maybe it's you were meant to miss that plane. Okay, it was annoying. I didn't get where I was meant to go, but that led you to I'm going to go get a coffee at this coffee shop down at the side here. And at that place, there was somebody else in the queue for getting coffee who said this to me then, and I overheard a conversation which led to obviously the butterfly effect is called. The small things can lead to a bigger thing.
Yeah, and also like we have a saying in my friend group. We say wherever can happen will happen, and we should let things happen the way they should. But we often interfere because we let logic take over, and by we I mean I let logic
take over. The human race. Camilla speaking for the entire human race.
No, I let logic take over sometimes, and it's not as good as listening. Listening's better because that can turn out to be really.
I think we all should
listen
more.
Yeah,
and I agree, and it's kind of serendipitous that you were saying with your friend group has a thing. My gran, who's no longer with us, had a saying as well, which is kind of this similar to that in a vein. And her thing to say was, "What's for you won't go by you."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is, if it was meant to happen for you, if you were meant to have this thing, if this was meant to happen to you, then it won't go by you. Somehow, some way, it will find just the way to you.
Yeah, and then, just as the fisherman, it's our duty to listen when it does come, because otherwise we will miss it, and then it's So listen.
So we're giving you some profound information today. And to continue with the profound information, if you want to be a guest on the announced.
Yes.
Because we've had some guests. We're going to have more guests, more people coming up.
Yep.
And we have a website, which will be at the bottom of the screen now, www.creativejuices.se.
Yes.
And how can they email us from there?
They can email us at info@creativejuices.se.
And that's if you have any questions or comments or things that you want us to bring up on the podcast. If you are an artist, a creative person, and you want to be a guest, or if you have a suggestion for a future guest or somebody we can contact.
Yeah.
We are based in the Stockholm area of Sweden, so we'd like to have people in the studio here in the lake behind us. Hope it's not too wet.
But we're also able to have things online. So if you are sitting anywhere else in the world, we love to have you online.
So get in contact with Creative Juices. Follow us. We're on Instagram. I believe we've got a Spotify channel. I still haven't
Yes, we do.
signed up for Spotify yet. I'm holding out on that one. I'm a bit skeptical about the whole Spotify idea. I'm more of a YouTube person, and of course we have our presence on YouTube because it's probably where that's just my phone flying over. We could probably cut that. Keep it in.
Okay. Maybe it sparks creativity with someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a YouTube channel, we have Instagram, we have carrier pigeons. Do you know what I heard the other day?
No.
That carrier pigeons are extinct. Did you know that?
No.
They died pretty much at World War One. Because they were used quite a lot then. It's a special type of pigeon that they bred.
Yeah.
But and it's obviously talked about in media and jokes and stuff, but they actually don't exist anymore. There are no more carrier pigeons.
That's really sad.
It is. I was kind of sad when I found out about that.
We have a lot of pigeons, but no carrier pigeons.
It's true. Quite like pigeons though.
Yeah, they're cute.
They brighten up cities. Some people don't like them. They call them like flying rats.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you just think of them as nice things, then you're just going to see lots of nice things around.
Yeah.
It's all about your perception.
It's better. Yeah.
Exactly. If you see something that's like, okay, there's like 1,000 horrible rats flying around London in the middle of it, then you're gonna like, London's not a nice place.
Yeah.
But if you're like, oh, I quite like these like flying birds and they're quite cool looking, and
some of them have really good coloring. I mean, they must be creative.
Well, yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Is like people, if you perceive something as like, this is a nice thing, I like these pigeons, then you're gonna see good things.
Yeah. Isn't that also for life? Like, if you perceive good things around you, you will feel happier and you'll see more good things around you.
That's what I found as well. People living in cities, like people get depressed, like, oh, it's so dark and we're just walking around and it's just stone buildings everywhere, but they don't look up at the architecture, or they don't appreciate it from different perceptions. Because I like how buildings look, and I like taking photographs of things that are seemingly mundane, but in the right lighting and the right perception, I think it can open up a whole wide world of different things. But you hear and talk to a lot of people who are very much like, nope, this is my blinkered view and everything's terrible.
Yeah, and it also reflects a lot like how you feel like if you are there taking a picture, making a feeling or known for everyone else. So it's also about our feelings, like a day where I feel low on energy, or I feel like I just want to lay in bed. I'm not going to be in the right headspace to find those things. But when I have a good feeling, I can spread it by taking a picture.
Exactly.
For example.
And I find, and you're very good at taking pictures of sunrises. I think that's your specialty.
That is something that I love. Sunrises and falls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sundown, sunsets. Sundown, sunsets.
Sun endings.
Day endings.
Day endings.
Yes.
Talking of endings, now we've got to half an hour of the video.
Yeah.